Welcome back to Get Your Man On. This is Evan Batts. If you have a question for us or need to get something off your chest, leave us a secret confession for the world to hear. Go to getyourmanon.com, click that big button in the middle of the page, and leave us a voicemail. We'll play you on the show and get you the answers that you deserve. Here with Dan Green, author of Finish Strong. Dan, so Drew Brees, the Saints, and your book Finish Strong. Tell me what happened there.
That was crazy. 2009, the summer of 2009, in the off season, I was running Simple Truths at the time with Mac. Mac was the creative guy, ran the sales and the operations side of the business. And my one of my salespeople came to me and said, "Hey, I've got Drew Brees on the phone." Drew bought books from Simple Truths for years, motivational books from us. And Lance, my sales guy, comes in and says, "Hey, you got Drew Brees on the phone. He's holding his phone. He wants to know if he can, buy 90 copies of Finish Strong and if we'll give him a deal." And I'm like, dude just signed a $60 million contract and he wants a deal on my $15.95 book? I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, sure, I'll give him a deal. So I gave him a deal.
You gave him a deal?
I gave him a deal.
Like, heck no.
I gave him a deal, and I gave him wristbands that said Finish Strong. And he took those books and he took those wristbands back to the team in the summer of 2009, and they used that as an internal motivating driving force to inspire the team. And little by little through each game that was played, you started seeing signs that said Finish Strong, and you started hearing Drew in that pre-game huddle, finishing his chant with Finish Strong, and it just started bubbling up. Yeah, it was pretty cool, but it was really internalized. They didn't really talk about it until the playoffs. When they made it to the playoffs, which was a big deal because the Saints were pretty bad up until that year. They were at Drew Brees was at a conference before the playoffs, and somebody said, "Hey, what about this Finish Strong thing? Where did that come from?" And Drew said, and I almost quote, he says, I bought this book called Finish Strong by Dan Green and gave a copy to every member of the team, and we used it to inspire us." My phone rang, and my phone rang. People found me, and it was all of a sudden there was a lot of interest in the book. We sold the average book that's published each year. I don't know if you knew this or not. The average book, the average number of sales per book published is 1,000 copies.
Didn't know that.
90% of the books published never sell more than 100 copies.
Wow.
I sold 40,000 copies of that book in 1 month. That's
incredible.
Quite the ride. And he ended up licensing Finish Strong for a player charity T-shirt. So we put Finish Strong on the back of a T-shirt, a black T-shirt, and for the first playoff game, the goal was to black out the dome with the Finish Strong T-shirt. And we sold 58,000 T-shirts in 7 days. It was the fastest selling retail merchandise item in New Orleans history, retail history.
Way.
So but what was cool is not so much about Dan Green and Finish Strong, but the idea of finishing strong. Katrina was not too far ago back then, and so there were still a lot of people hurting, and the inspiration and the idea behind finishing strong, people got it, and after they won the Super Bowl, and I was asked to come to New Orleans, and I spoke, and I did book signings, and I did television, and it was what was so humbling to me is how the people of New Orleans just really embraced the idea of finishing strong, and how they found, which gave me a lot of good feelings knowing that I kind of helped shepherd this little phrase to the world. So that was really special, and that was just such a cool experience.
Man. I think the whole concept of finishing anything is so necessary. I mean, I feel like 99% of people, that's their struggle, is to finish. I mean, it could be your career, your time with your kids. It's so easy to start things, and why is it so hard to finish?
That's true. That's true.
There's no dopamine for it. Like, I always feel the lack of like mowing my lawn, working out, the great nemesis of mine. Like, you got any energy drinks or supplements or anything that you can recommend for people that, because some guys have that high dopamine, and they're like, they become CEOs, and other guys, like, it's a chemical thing.
Oh, absolutely. No, it's definitely a chemical thing. used to have an energy drink, Finish Strong energy drink. We don't
No
have-
way.
Yeah,
You
serious?
No, we did. Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, we had a Finish Strong supplement that was designed for erectile dysfunction. It helped give guys a punch. It was
Were there any jokes made about finishing strong?
all the time.
17
Yeah.
at least.
An ED supplement called Finish Strong.
Yeah, it was called the Finish Strong Libido Maximizer.
Ram Force 2000.
Yeah,
Did it work?
yeah, it worked.
You have to say that though.
Yeah, it worked. Yeah.
What was
Are
the
you-
active ingredient?
Oh, that's a secret.
Are you a fan of supplements?
I am absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I am a fan of.
Do you have a
supplements.
go-to supplement?
I Mega Men Sport.
Mega Men Sport.
Yeah, GNC Mega Men Sport is just awesome. I rarely get sick. Knock on wood. I wish there was some wood to knock on. We're in a clinic that is all about wood. What am I talking about? There's plenty of wood in this clinic.
Just don't harass the patients this time, Dan. Okay.
Knock on what?
That's awesome. What else? What else do you do? I mean, you're in really great shape. You're jacked. Like, what else do you do
Thanks
to
for
stay in
saying
shape?
that. You know, I've been working out since most of my adult life. I try, to get in the gym 3-4 times a week is my goal. Through the last 35 years, it's been hit and miss, but on the average, pretty good. I started. I'm in my 40s. I started realizing something was up. I didn't have the energy that I used to have. I'm a father of 2 girls, and they're grown now. But back then they were little, and they required a lot of attention. And working hard at the startup with the businesses I was doing, I was just exhausted, and I felt like I was just falling apart. And so I went and had my T tested back in 2011. So this is a long time ago. Somebody suggested it, and sure enough, I was low, and so I started, hormone replacement therapy in 2011, and that's been a game changer for me.
Wow.
Game changer.
You've been doing it for a long time. That's like before it was cool.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it's part of my life. It's not a fad. It's not something I'm ever gonna stop. It's like taking my GNC supplement. I take my tea,
Yeah.
but you get it. It's kind of one of those things where you get out of it what you put into it. So the effects of that are great, but they're even greater when you're juicing it with, not juice, that's the wrong word to use, but but when you're
This is a safe
when you're
space.
when you're juicing it with workout and eating right.
Mm-hmm.
And so I love to work out. For me, even to this day, one of my Finish Strong tricks is when I don't want to work out and I'm struggling, all I got to do is get my damn workout pants on. That's the first, for me. I've made a
Nice.
commitment to myself 35 years ago that when those workout pants come on, we work out.
Let's go.
It's just like the paper clips. I don't put one back if I didn't earn it. If I can get my workout pants on, game over. I'm at the gym. So
That's
how I finish
awesome.
strong.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the paper clips thing, I love that. Having something. And it feels, I don't know, something about this generation that's coming up is like they don't have that paper clip mentality sometimes. I mean, I don't know, have you noticed that in the younger generation? Or like, I mean, you've worked with a lot of people, but like, what have you seen like in culture, and how has Finish Strong changed? I mean, I feel like it's more important now than ever to talk about finishing strong. But
Yeah, there's definitely a generational gap from when I conceived the idea of finishing strong and started promoting it back in the 90s. I think, and I've got 2 daughters, 26 and 23 years old, so I have a little bit of insight into that generation. But even the generation coming up behind them, I just read today that those folks expect to be retired for 40 years. Like I think there's a weird level of entitlement and kind of a fluffiness about life for some of these kids coming up. I sound old right now, but yeah, I don't think even the greatest generation. I don't think we measured up to what the greatest generation did. The folks that came through the Depression, that fought in World War II, Korean War, Vietnam. Those guys were tough. My dad and his dad's dad. Those people set the bar, and I think even our generation, my generation's fallen short of that. But the generation coming up now, I think with the whole social media and us, go to the gym now and people have got their headphones on or they're looking at their phones. The isolationism that this generation has is problematic. I think
Yeah. What do we do about it?
we just keep preaching, man.
Yeah.
I think we
I know.
just
I wanna
just
support-
lead by example.
I want to support this younger generation. I don't want to abandon them because I feel like they need us. Like they need people. They need dads. They need fathers. It's a fatherless generation, I think, to some degree.
Right. We need them. We need them to be successful.
Exactly. And that's, our America especially doesn't value, aging at all right now. It's all about young. How do you look young? How do you have the makeup to look young? Let's talk more about this. Let's dial more into this. I want to hear more about Finish Strong. I want to hear more about paper clips.
All right.
Dan Green with us in the studio today. Get your man.